Yeah. Future school board member here.
Right, well, welcome everyone. I'll call this meeting of the Southwest Regional Technical School District to order for our June meeting. It is 4:05 on June 9th. First order of business is public comments. Is there anybody wanting to make a public comment? Seeing none here or online, we will move right into a presentation, cybersecurity strategies, a work-based learning experience.
Just so you know, our work-based learning student graduated on Friday.
Excellent.
And he came last month, but we all learned an important lesson about communicating if we are and aren't going places. So he says hello to everyone, but he is enjoying some well-deserved time with his family and getting ready to just enjoy not being in school. So Dan's gonna take it from there.
All right.
I just wanted to explain where the student is. He very much enjoyed working with Dan and got a lot done.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Tim, for Friday.
Yeah.
So this is something that the work-based learning student was working with me and Allie. As Mike said, cybersecurity strategies preventing phishing, malware attacks, and data breaches. We'll quickly cover this, just kind of go through some of the main points here. But it's kind of not quite a capstone project for him, but Jaden Rose was the student. And he is actually going to be going to Champlain College for what exactly? What
Cyber forensics.
Cyber forensics. So this was kind of an end of year project that we worked together with him on. And he just there's a lot of tech jargon in here and stuff. So I'll just kind of run through it real quick. One of the big things, you know, obviously here, we want to keep the school secure. We want to make sure everything's safe cybersecurity wise. And what Jaden did, we're just kind of really, he went through the core tenets of what it means to keep a school safe online and with computers. So some of the big things, I'm sure everybody's seen it, you know, you get, the technical term is phishing, you've heard that term. Where you get an email or even a text or a phone call or something, hey, the most obvious one that we've all experienced is, was that your car's extended warranty, right? Everybody's gotten that call, I'm sure. But that's one of the biggest threats, you know, to schools and really any organization. It's all over the news all the time. Where the bad guys get into a network and they lock everything down, right? And everything's just kind of offline. It happened to SBC, I believe, up in Burlington a few years ago now. They got hit with something that's called ransomware. And so what happens is they basically lock everything down and they say, hey, pay us this money, otherwise you're not gonna get your stuff back. And so, you know, as a school, unfortunately, we are a target as well. A very big target, and we see this happen to schools all the time as well. So what Jaden did here, again, we can print this out and you guys are welcome to read through it, but again, there's a lot of, you know, this is definitely something kind of, definitely not a policy here, but just something that we kind of want to think about, and then with Jaden and myself and Allie, we wanted to kind of bring to you guys and just say, hey, here's some of the things we're thinking about, you know, and what we want to do to help keep our schools safe. So yeah, I mean, really, again, a lot of this was Jaden's project. He did a great job with it. Obviously, we went through it. But again, happy to get everybody copies if you want to have it and read through it. And yeah, it might be in the Dropbox. I'm not quite sure.
It is.
It is. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's in the Dropbox, and if you can't get into your Dropbox, let me know. But I can take those questions. But yeah, I mean, since I'm up here, everybody have any questions just in general about cybersecurity for the school or anything like that? No? Okay. All right, fair enough, fair enough.
We have a great show on Cat TV Shorts called Don't Click That Link.
Oh, really?
One of our producers also does tech work at the hospital, so he has a interest in this as well. It's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. Very cool. Yeah, alrighty. Well, that's that, and oh, Brian. Guys.
There's all of these add-ons that are happening today in this time. As soon as you go to any particular site, a lot of them have something that the speed, and which I'm trying to understand, how do they get the in the forefront of what you're gonna be getting. You may read something, then something pop up, and then the next thing you know, you may click on that.
Yeah,
That's part of the problem that we're facing. I don't know whether it's coming through to the school and
Oh.
the field.
absolutely. I really, again, it's this whole world of just. People are trying, the bad guys, you know, the motivation is money, right? But most of the time, 99% of the time, it's money. And even when it happens to us personally, right, we get these, you know, pop-ups, we get things, weird emails, we get phone calls, anything. Really, it's kind of a cat and mouse game is the best way I could put it. It's kind of like, they'll try anything, right? Like, hey, you gotta click on this thing, hey, you have a weird. And they'll even make it look like, hey, you have a virus on your computer, and you don't. Right, and they say, hey, click this to remove the virus, or call us, or whatever. So we absolutely are affected by that type of stuff at the school. You know, we have things, obviously, we have great equipment, right, and great filters and all these other things, and antivirus, all this stuff. But it's always a threat, you know, you always have to be careful, and we're constantly adapting, and that's where it kind of comes back to this, where we're. Again, the cat and mouse game, right? You know, the bad guys are always trying something new, so we need to adapt, and we need to, you know, be sure that we're on the lookout for those things.
I think the more that we adapt, the more the threat actors adapt also, you know, so
Exactly.
we're trying to stay up to speed with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfectly fine, yeah, absolutely.
So the outcome of this project, is it cataloging the threats, or is he making some recommendations for the school to follow, or?
So it's a generalized thing, I guess the best way that I could put it is, here's what we're kind of doing as a school. It doesn't name specifics that we're doing. Again, Jaden didn't have direct access to anything here at the school. He didn't have, you know, logins to anything like that. But really, it's kind of naming some of the big threats. It's going through again, like phishing, ransomware, all these other things. And it's also just saying, hey, here's some generalized kind of things that we're doing already and things that we can do and things, you know, best practices. I guess would be the best way I could put it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so,
Okay,
yeah, thank you.
okay, yeah, you're welcome. Again,
Research project, and probably the best way for the outcome is it was really
Yeah.
research and he had to present it to us and deal with deadline. So it was more like capstone is probably the best way to explain it. It was really like a thorough research project and he got to learn from Dan and do some one-on-ones and informational interviewing that kind of helped tie it together.
yeah. Thank you.
Sorry.
Anybody online have a question? No from Thomas, let's say no from National. Okay, all right,
Very good.
thank you, Dan.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Dan. Thank you,
Yeah,
Alan.
thank you to your student.
And thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
So pass that along.
Right. Moving along, we have the consent agenda next. First up are the minutes from our full board meeting last month of May 14th. I'm looking for a motion. For a second, okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
So I was an I vote, not a nay. Aye.
No abstentions and no nays, okay. Unanimous. Payroll warrants, 1,041, 1,045, and 1,047. The motion, please. Okay, second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And unanimous. Vendor warrants, 1,042, 1,043, 1,044, and 1,046. So move. Second? Second. And some music. Any comments? Questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Sorry, I was an I vote. Still getting used to the phone here.
Thank you, Asher. All right, next up, the cash flow revenue expenses and treasure reports, more FYI / in your Dropbox. Do that. Committee reports, we have policy. Tim?
We met last month and we have passed 2 policies that we are forwarding to you. I guess we now have had them open for public comment for the next month, and then they get approved by this body. This was a good exercise for us to get our process down. And so the first one is the public complaints of personnel, not students, so personnel. And so the purpose of this policy is to lay out the process by which a complaint against the teacher or staff member or administrator would follow to be reconciled. And then the other one is C 1030 is a school safety. In that case, we were just reviewing it and we made some editorial changes. And so those are headed your way. Have a we will meet again in a couple of weeks and finish up our work on a social media policy. And so hopefully we send that to you this month. So. Yeah, it does very well. That's our report.
Okay, great, thank you. Any questions for that? I know that we'll be doing some action items in the moment, so. Speaking of the moment, action items. We do have the 2 policies that Tim mentioned for warning. The first one is C 1025, which is public complaints of personnel. And I'll just have a motion for warning, I do believe.
Yes.
Okay, if anyone's willing to make that motion for a warning.
I'll second it.
Okay, I need a motion first, Leon.
Motion.
Sorry. Second, but. Okay, all those in favor for warning C 1025 public complaints of personnel? Say aye. Any abstentions? And any nays? No, okay. The next one is C 1030 school safety. A motion for warning, please.
Second,
Second by Asher. Thank you, Asher. All those in favor say aye.
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 And abstention. Okay. And as Tim said, those warnings, we'll vote on those formally at our August meeting. So if there's any corrections between now and then for policy, so. All right, next up, superintendent's report. Nick.
Okay, first, Thomas will be very happy about this.
Yes.
But we,
Two.
our outreach coordinator, Nicole Sauer, coordinated with our manufacturing teacher to create badges for board members to wear out to community events if you so choose. They are magnetic, so they will not ruin your good shirts when you wear them. But I do need to warn you that if you have a pacemaker, you should not use this one. So if you're in that situation, please let me know. We will get you one that has a traditional pin on it. Thomas, I will hold on to yours or I'll get it to you somehow. Okay? All right. So school is winding down this week. This is the last week with students. Seniors already finished last week or the week before, the end of May. And this is our last week with underclassmen, and then teachers finish at the end of next week. At this point in time, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the board for all of your support in my first year. If you were not at our awards ceremony the other night, I'd like to reiterate the fact that, what I said at the awards ceremony was that, our board members, don't just show up to meetings and vote on the proposals. I feel like you guys are active, you're involved in advisory committee meetings, you come to our events. And we really appreciate that, and I appreciate all of your support. That's not to say that I won't continue to need that, even though I've had a year under my belt. But really, thank you. And I'd also like to thank the faculty and staff for their patience with me, during this first year. We had a great celebration the other night at the Arts Center. Thank you to all who were able to attend. We do have a wonderful school full of many opportunities for students, and as you can see from that night, a number of students really excel, which is always great to end the year that way. And a special thank you to Trevor Mance, who was our guest speaker that evening. He did a great job. I think a lot of students, can relate with him, his story. So that was great. In front of you, I passed out a Southwest Tech Year in Review. That is what we did in place of our typical monthly, Southwest Tech updates. And it sort of gives a history of what we've been able to accomplish this year, which is pretty impressive. As a center, each program has a little individual snippet of information in there with highlights from the school year. So when you get an opportunity, please take some time to review that. Last year, I had presented to you that we had just over 700 students that we were able to expose to Southwest Tech somehow, whether that was through the 8th grade tours, through Sophomore Summit, through Shadow Days. Today, this morning, I did a quick calculation, and it actually doesn't even include all of our events this year. But so far, we're up to exposing 930 students to Southwest Tech. And that number is still climbing because it doesn't include the number of students that Nicole Sauer engaged with during her flex exposure time this year. It doesn't include the number of students that came for our 5th grade event. And then we had some additional shadow days with Arlington, Hoosick Falls, and BDA. So we're gonna be well over that 930 count, which is exciting. So switching gears to, actually, before I go to switching gears to next year, we did get the Freightliner. If you recall, we received the time grant, which allowed us to secure a new Freightliner. It's now in our back parking lot. We were all very excited about it. Now we're trying to figure out a name for it. Because the other Freightliner is red, so we call it Big Red. This one is white. So we have a number of names that we've thrown out there. But we're very excited that it's here and safely here. I also handed out a for sale sign. I feel like a little salesperson. But we do have some sheds that the building trades program has built and has not sold yet. We have 2 8x10s, we have 2 8x8s, and we have 2 8x12s. Thank you, Mike. The price is $2,500 each. If people are interested in them, they should call our main number, which is 447-0220. We will also be putting this out on social media as well. So moving forward to next year, I think I had spoken to the board probably in the fall. SVSU had received a 21st Century grant. It's a 5-year grant. Within that grant, they had reached out to Southwest Tech to provide some after-school programming for students. One of the afternoon, programs that we are going to host here, is an electric airplane build, which is really pretty cool. And it will be a 2-year project. They will build the airplane from a kit, that they receive. And so far, our school counseling coordinator and our manufacturing teacher are involved, but we see other programs being able to be involved in it somehow, whether it's video and TV production, and or graphic arts, to do some of the emblems on the plane once it's completed. But we're pretty excited about that. They took a field trip last week up to the airport, with a group of students. Actually, Sandy also attended the field trip. So it's pretty exciting, that is happening here, at school. So,
What's the size of that plane?
really small. So it is a Vans RV 12IS, and it's a 2-seater.
Okay.
It's small. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like remote control, it looks like someone's getting.
No, it's an
That
actual.
people, it's an actual plane, yeah, it's an actual plane.
This came out of.
Go for it.
No, it says someone, it's someone.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Right.
So Jim Sharkey, who retired
Long time.
from command,
Man, yep,
right?
Yep.
Okay, so he is heading up this group.
he's a pilot.
And there's a group of pilots that are involved, pilots and engineers that are involved in the programming as
Excited
well.
to see where an email has come to this. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes,
Cool.
yes,
It's great.
yeah, and I do have the, if you would like to take a look at the specs of the plane.
Sure. If you put it in Dropbox.
Yeah, we're very excited about that and, excited to do some planning this summer.
Oh,
For
I'm
next year.
still volunteer for the first flights.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you did some stuff in law enforcement, you wanna volunteer for like 2 times?
Yeah, or I can just do security.
Stay on the ground.
So, and that's.
That's really cool. So, it will start this year and. be
It will start
completed
fall,
Of 25.
yep, fall of 25 and be completed, spring of 27.
That's very.
Yep. Yep, and even students that have signed up to be involved, they'll be seniors next year. So we're trying to figure out a way to sort of keep them connected to it and
If Amber lets me.
come back and see.
Asher says if Amber lets me, he'll go on too.
Well, I'll watch from the ground.
I know,
I'll wave.
I know Ryan will be involved with that, so, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan was
Video.
very excited. Ryan went on the field trip.
Oh, good,
He was
yeah,
Very
yeah.
excited about it.
Cross straws.
So. So is it the short straw? or the long straw?
Just throwing on popcorn in here.
And that completes my report.
Any other questions? Meg? Okay, chair's report, I'll keep mine pretty brief. Yes, I just wanna echo, it was a great awards night, congratulations to all the students for all their achievements, both here at Southwest Tech and over at the high school for the senior awards and underclass awards, and for Friday for graduation, congratulations to the MAU graduates. I know that PBA and other schools graduate at different times, but congratulations to all the graduates for 2025. And I just want to say, best of luck to our students. They're gonna compete at the national competitions later this month. There's a couple different ones.
Yeah.
And circling back to our scheduled meetings, I know that when we had these 4 o'clock meetings, we also wanted to do kind of special tours.
Yeah.
Not really meetings, but tours of classes. My hope is that we can schedule that probably in the fall, once school gets rolling for a few weeks, but then
Yeah.
schedule something. Well, thank you. And that's all I really had. Does anyone have anything else, any others? Ken?
I just, excuse me, I just want to congratulate the youngsters involved in those banners and so forth.
Yes.
Yes,
Really,
thank
Yeah.
you. Yep,
I hear a lot of comments from a lot of people, how nice they are and
Yeah,
professionally done and everything.
yeah.
yeah. You're talking about for people home, the 250 banners you can see around town. They're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Very
graphic
nice,
artist
colorful,
program.
and
Really good.
Historical.
Yep, they're awesome. Anyone else? I saw Asher. Is he done?
Go ahead, Asher.
I just want to say, I've made it to every other award ceremony, and understandably, I could not be present at this one. Um, but although I'm really glad to hear that it was a success, and hopefully I'll make it to the next one. And I'm just really glad that things are going really well. Whenever I see something come from the Southwest Tech Facebook page, I'm really proud to share it on my page and my school board page too. So let's just keep it going. This is all wonderful.
Great, thank you, Asher. Anyone else online? Thomas, Tim, anything else? Anyone here? Okay, we usually do not meet in July barring any emergency or necessary, so we will see you all in August and have a great summer, and stay safe and hopefully have some more weather than rain. So, with that, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So move, but don't forget to sign them.
Yes, yeah, we gotta sign the warrants on the side. All right, second,
Second.
okay. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, no opposed, and no nays. Have a great summer. Thank you.
So thank you again, if you could just stick around to sign the warrants as they go around.
Sandy, let's connect regarding
Oh, okay.
that and other things at some point.
Yeah.
Answer
Thank you.
what?
Sandy and I could connect sometime to talk about the signing of the warrants and the
Recording
email.
stopped.
That would be appreciated.
Got it. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sandy. We'll touch base. All right, take care. Goodbye, everyone.
You.